Shut up and sit down.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Nerdsplaining Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Da Silva. With me as always is my co-host, Jose Romero.
What it is, happy Nerd Day. Right, it's been a while, been a couple weeks.
Been a couple weeks. We have been occupied.
Life happens,
Life happens, as you can tell.
Dr. Malcolm was
My life is now, I have a different place. That's why I actually can start to begin to display my nerd stuff here. So,
true, you
life
live in your apartment. So I will apologize. The audio might be off and the visuals are going to be off because you're still trying to get your Wi-Fi together. So forgive us. So you're going to see a screen maybe get bigger and smaller. I'll adjust as we go. It is what it doesn't stop Nerd Day. We have to continue Nerd Day.
Listen. We have many weeks in Geek to catch up on. So if I get bigger, it's just because I'm getting excited about what I'm talking about. It's like,
no problem. Exactly. And, well, actually, I know what stops Nerd Day is that I'm on vacation next week, so that's going to stop Nerd Day. But that's okay. We'll come back after another week and just have more to talk about.
Basically, this podcast will be bi-monthly.
For the next couple of weeks, yes. But then we're back on schedule. It's all good.
Then we're back on schedule. We're going to come back.
We'll be back.
Furious
We'll
anger.
be back by Black Adam, which is coming out in a couple of weeks, of which I'm missing the red carpet premiere. I won't be around. That's a shame. I think The Rock was going to show up. Damn it.
Oh, it's such a heartbreaker.
Bastards.
Now, red carpet in Miami or in LA? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the schedule when I'm gone. Oh, look, there's an example of the issues we're going to have because of the Wi-Fi. It's okay, folks. Let me just shrink Eric here because he's used to shrinkage. Hello. But yeah, lots to get into, man. We've missed a couple weeks, so I don't know where to start. But we'll start with Little Trader. Let's start with some HBO, the little non-DC Marvel stuff. We take it as we get.
Sure. Okay.
And they dropped the trailer for The Last of Us, and HBO coming out next year. We're excited about it. I love the game. I've talked about it. I love the story. It was tailor-made for a show, series, or whatever, even a film. It looks great, dude. It looks really good, man. I love the tone that they're catching up here.
I feel like they took everything from DMZ and just made it better.
Yes.
Because DMZ wasn't perfect, but it was good. It was different than the book by leaps and bounds. But the feel of the series was very intriguing and compelling and real. And I feel like DMZ was like almost like the base. Like, let's just do things from here. And now The Last of Us is going to take that and just really crank out the drama out of that.
Well, it doesn't hurt when you put in the Mandalorian in there. Everybody wins. And
this is the way, dude. This is the way.
Who is awesome in Game of Thrones. But it looks really good, man. I kept seeing the visuals. I'm like, it looks like the video game, which is great.
It does. It really does.
Like what is it called? The scarab? I forget what they called the creature. Whatever they showed. That looked.
The zombie.
Whatever it is. Yeah, it looked fantastic. This looks really good. I am so excited about it. And I know HBO does quality. I am not worried about them fucking this up.
I actually am hoping that they don't do the entire game in one season.
No, I don't either.
I'd like to see 2 seasons.
That should be the way, because the game, like, if you watch the story in the game, it's like 19 hours or whatever, right? If you just to watch all the cutscenes, it's long, and there's enough there to draw from. So you're right. I don't want it, because the ending is so good in that first game. It's phenomenal. And right, let's wait till next season or whatever, right? Because they did a part 2 so they can expand beyond that point. But I'm kind of curious. You're right. I'm kind of curious how far they go from the game.
I always feel like if there's any lesson HBO TV series should take from Game of Thrones is don't rush it. Take your time. No, let the story tell itself.
I think
build that drama.
The first game you can get 2 seasons out of it. Maybe squeeze it, depending how many episodes, right? If it's 8 episodes, you can maybe do 3. That seems like a lot, but it's possible because the whole story takes over a year in the game, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So there's a lot to mine. There's a lot. So I can't wait for this, man.
And if you do 8 episodes at an hour each, that's 2 seasons, and then like technically like a third of a third.
Potentially, yeah,
season.
Potentially. So and even doing, I think they released this. I'm not saying EP is the wrong word, but they had an expansion to the game that got released after the game, and that I seeing some of that in here. So they're gonna combine some of that stuff.
Oh,
which is interesting.
okay, cool. I didn't do the expansion pack, so I didn't know.
Yeah,
about
I think this is the scene with I forgot the girl's name, Ellie. There you go, the main character, Lady Mormon's character, and I guess she had made a friend during that time, which the first game doesn't explore. The expansion does explore that, like them two together and what happened before he met the guy and the father figure. Very cool. So yeah, I can't wait. It's exciting. This looks really good. This is one you don't have to play the game and watch the game. The story is so good. going in blind. It's gonna kind of do it right. I don't know. I really don't want them to fuck this up.
I don't think I with the casting they have and the tone they're setting for, I don't think they would mess this up. I mean, you can always mess something up, but so far they haven't done anything to make me think this would be a bad thing.
There, the visuals are there, nothing else. That's where you start off, right? That's all we got anyway.
And also the type of cast members you have, and those actors usually do a certain type of project, and so they have a pretty good like quality control like bouncer. They're like, no, if it's not this, back up.
And so I can't wait. That's next 2023. I'm not sure. I don't think they said exactly when, but whatever. Excited about. Can't wait for that. Another project was I can't say I'm excited about, but I'm kind of curious about. And because they announced, they had a story going out that Constantine sequel was in the works. It's in development.
Yeah.
Does it mean that it's
not just any Constantine?
Right.
Not just any Constantine.
The Keanu Reeves version.
Keanu Reeves.
Right, which is
that's right, baby. Mr. Like that with the with the tattoo.
I love Keanu Reeves, so I'm good with that. I mean, I wasn't a fan. Did you like? I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. It was okay. Like I didn't hate it, but It
was okay. I knew Constantine the comics, so I was like, couldn't they at least dyed his hair blonde or give him like a British accent? Maybe that's just like to me. Listen, I know I'm not the first guy to say it, but the guy who did Constantine in the Constantine TV series that eventually got carried over to Legends of Tomorrow, that dude is awesome. I wish it was him, but I know that guy is a nobody. I think it was Matt Ryan, and then you have Keanu Reeves. So of course you're gonna go with Mr. John Wick, or you're gonna go with Neo.
I mean, come on.
That's the draw.
Yeah.
But so I'm a little disappointed I'm getting an American brunette instead of a blonde British dude. But hey,
I can live with that. Listen, because it's John Wick, I'm gonna let it go. We'll allow it.
I hope that the movie starts off with him killing Shia LaBeouf's zombie body. That's how I would start it.
And like I said, it's not greenlit. It's just in development. That could mean a lot of different things. But it's funny because this is one of the J.J. Abrams projects which were taken off his plate. And
wait, so all that time just to do Keanu Reeves? That's all it takes. Wow, J.J. really breaking new ground there, dude.
Good for you guys. Like, this was supposed to be a series on HBO. That was the plan.
With Keanu Reeves?
No, I don't believe it was with Keanu Reeves. I can't say 100% for sure. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it was a series. J.J. Abrams, his production company, when he got that big contract with them, that this is one of the shows he had on the plate. But yeah, so I guess. But they've been moving away from a lot of his stuff. Like the one show, they passed on it. He's trying to sell it.
The Dark. It was supposed to Dark Justice League Dark too.
Well, I don't know if that's one of them. We have the Superman project, which we've heard nothing about over the last couple of years. Who knows what's going on with Abrams? I mean, David Zaslav could have been like, yeah, thanks but no thanks, which is probably a wise decision. Whatever. But this isn't the. Like I said, not a big fan of it. But if they can do it right, update it to today's standards, it could be cool.
I thought it was okay. There was a certain charm.
It had potential.
Right.
And I think it was done at a time when
and it wasn't.
I mean, it was done at a time when the comic book movies weren't being done seriously, right?
They were just starting to get seriously, but no one knew exactly how big it can get.
Right.
So I'd like to see what they can do now with like an eye on like this is going to be a blockbuster movie.
Right.
Like, it's got like $100 million. Do a thing.
Do it the right way because that's a cool premise. I love the premise. That's always very cool.
Premise is great. That's why the book is so good. The premise is great.
A lot of potential here. If they make it nice and dark, and it could be really good. So let's see. More news on that later. Another interesting one here. Speaking of TV series turning into film, Marvel's doing the same thing with Armor Wars. Which was announced originally as a series. They announced it at D23 or was it Comic-Con? Whatever.
Yes. D23.
Okay, so now I guess something happened between the last couple of weeks and they decided now to make a film out of it, which...
Well, most Marvel news apparently happened after D23.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a second, but you're right. Well, though this one could be a last minute thing. I don't even know, to be honest with you, but I think that's good because Marvel still hasn't proven they can give us a really good series. So why not make it into a film, right? And I think the source material is probably better off with the movie anyway. A series might just drag out too much stuff in there. So I think this is a wise decision, whatever the reason it is. But yeah, so...
I mean, every movie, not every movie, but there's usually... A lot of movies have what they call a MacGuffin, which is a thing somebody's got to go to fix the thing. With Armor Wars, there's like 1,000 MacGuffins because everyone is stealing a piece of Tony's tech, and he has to go after it. So it could have worked in a series because there's so many of them. But as a movie, you can almost add like a ticking clock. Like if we don't get these pieces, then whoever has sold the Stark thing maybe has like a backdoor like Doomsday Protocol that's going to ruin the world. So you have to get it before it proliferates even further, because then it will affect the whole world. That'll be kind of interesting. I guess you see something like that working as a movie, because then you have like a ticking time clock
it's
kind of
with
situation.
The series that, you know, it's either too short, too long. You just can't seem to get it right. It's like Goldilocks, right? So you know what, make it to him. We're fine. You know, maybe there wasn't enough material for a series. I don't know. Why drag it out?
I mean, no, there's enough material.
This material. I mean, the material they draw from, they create a story from the source material, right? They don't always give you. They haven't given something exact like the comics, right? So maybe the idea they had wasn't going to work. I don't know.
Let me ask you this, because you know a little bit more than you reveal. You're like a wizard. There's a online rumor that one of the reasons why they made Armor Wars a movie is so they can get Robert Downey Jr. back to do a AI hologram, like basically a Jarvis version of himself for Rhodey's armor. Is that like any potential to that? Or
I have nothing concrete about that, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Robert Downey down the road at some point. I can almost guarantee.
I mean, Secret Wars, obviously.
I'm gonna see him. I guarantee he's gonna be. I don't know where. Maybe he's gonna pop up. Whether it's a cameo or whatever. No one dies in Marvel. Let's keep it real, right?
You just get old and move it to the moon. Right. That's all they do.
Whatever.
That's what happens.
There's always something that happens. Whatever, right? But I haven't. I mean, I don't know, to be honest with you. It will make sense. This will be kind of something his character will fit in, right?
Yeah. So it's armor.
That's what I'm saying.
It's Armor Wars,
his tech, right? So let's see. I mean, I think Lionheart will probably be in this. I don't know, maybe.
You mean not Lightheart, Ironheart.
I don't know why I said Lionheart. I said Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Lionheart. Maybe I was thinking about that. Remember that movie back in the day, Lionheart? Jean-Claude Van Damme? No, it's a bad movie.
Lionheart? No.
I could have sworn it was a movie. I'm gonna look at. Now I'm gonna look
I remember Bloodsport.
Now,
Bloodsport and Time Cop. That's all you need.
Well, no, I didn't say Lionheart was a good one. I just said it was a movie he made. That's it. Don't get twisted. 1990. There it is. It was Lionheart. With Jean-Claude Van Damme. But yeah, let's see. So it's interesting news. I'm gonna give you a choice here. Bad news or good news?
Always bad news first.
I had it in that order too. I had a feeling you were gonna say that. So it's not always sunflowers and sun rays at Marvel. Sometimes things happen on the negative side, which we rarely hear about. This is one of them, because as it relates to Blade, a movie which I'm looking for. And I saw the original, the young one. She's never seen it. I was like, she's 14. She's the right age. We popped it in. She actually really enjoyed it. We're going to see a second one at some point. So I'm getting excited about Blade. Like, yeah, I like Blade. I think you like Blade. We all like Blade. Who doesn't like Blade, for Christ's sake? Wesley Snipes. Sure. So now we're about a few weeks from actual production, film-wise, pretty soon. And the director, this Bassam Tariq, if I'm saying it right, I don't know. He dropped out of the project.
Yeah.
Which is curious, because someone drops out, usually it's early on. Right, we see before you even start. They've already done pre-production and all pre-planning and storyboard. I'm sure all that's been done, all the development that goes behind the scenes before the film has been done by the director. So him dropping out, that's like DC shit. I was waiting from DC, or even Star Wars for that matter.
I have heard some things about this.
I did too.
And you maybe heard it.
Yeah, I have something we'll talk about now. But it's odd, because now let's focus two things first before we go behind the curtain.
Sure.
As far as this movie is not going to come out when it's going to come out.
Oh, no.
That's clear, because if they bring,
it's going to be delayed by at least 6 months.
At least, because new director comes in, they're just not going to take what someone else did. They're going to want their own pre-production work.
New writer too. New writer,
exactly. So this is a mess. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. It really is. It's really bad. Weeks before it films, it's bad. And going back to some of the stuff you heard, and maybe you heard some similar things, but I did hear that there were a lot of issues with the film. Obviously,
yes.
Mahershala Ali was not happy with the script. He was not happy with
the that was a big one.
That was a big one, which is why I think it's now maybe being rewritten, that's a few months delay, and then we rewrite it. It starts the whole process all over again, the production.
Well, if you think about it, did they ever announce Blade on the timeline for release date?
Yeah, it was on the big release date for.
Was it really? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, Blade was on there. Blade was on the list.
Okay, because to me, I think what they're probably going to do is if they can't get Wesley Snipes for Secret Wars, they're gonna do Wesley Snipes in Blade.
I mean, who knows? It depends on the script, maybe. I know it was set to release. Oh no, that's I'm trying to find the release. I'll try to find it in the meantime. But there's a problem with the script. And
I heard it wasn't actiony enough, and the action sequences were kind of lame.
Yeah, there was 2 scenes only, and I heard it's 90 pages, which is pretty short because
really
every
short.
page equates
That's
to a minute.
Really
yeah,
short.
A minute of screen time, more or less, the ratio, right? So it's about 90 minutes.
Yeah,
very short. And that's probably why the director said, "I'm out." Right? Let's be honest, because he's probably like, "This is nonsense."
Let's take it back. It's not. It's probably why Feige said, "You're out."
I don't think it was Feige, because this is the other thing I heard.
I think it was Feige. I think it was Feige because Mahershala wasn't happy with the script.
But
the script was
he didn't write the script. He's not new with the script. He's just directing the film.
But the director also had to approve of the script. The director said, "I like the script." He said, "Yeah, this is great."
Well, we could say it about Kevin Feige, right? I mean, would he not have approval of the script, right? I mean,
I think what happened was Feige said okay to the script because he thought that they're going to do a smaller movie. Mahershala was like, "I don't want a small movie. I want my Black Panther. I want to have my Spider-Man." And when the directors is like, "Well, this is the story we're going to tell," Mahershala's like, "Feige, I told you I wanted to be Blade, and you made me Blade. Don't make me choose between walking and leaving, because I'll stay if you give me a better script. But if you make me do the script, I'm out." Feige's like, "Cool, you're fired. Get a new script."
I don't think Feige had anything to do with it, because this is the other part of the stuff that I heard. And it goes back to what I've been talking about. Oh, really? It goes back to what I've been talking about, where the MCU is getting out of control. There's too many characters, too much stuff going on. It really is. And it's not to the detriment of the MCU. It's just the quality's gone down, and there's too much stuff. So Feige, because I don't know if we talked about it or not, but there was a story about Feige being hands-off because he has no choice. Because there's too much going on. He can't get involved in all these projects. He can't. There's too much going on. The story that I heard about in conjunction with the writing, all was a big part of the reason why this movie didn't go forward. I had issues because Feige was not involved. For the most part, because he can't. Right? So that's why maybe he didn't.
I think he's getting, but I think now because of everything else, he's making himself involved.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's possible. He spread himself too thin. Now it's a big problem that a lot of people are talking behind the scenes with Marvel. That he's not, right. Why the quality is what it is, and it's not as focused. And it, like even Raimi came out and said he was very hands off when he did Multiverse.
You could tell. You could tell.
Exactly what I'm saying. Which is fine if you're doing independent films, like more like what DC does. I have no problem with that. But this is a connected universe. We need the guy at the helm, in the helm, right? And he's not there. That could explain a lot of issues with MCU. A lot of people complaining. I get it. The direction, we talked about it, right? It's not the same. The quality is not as good as it was early on. Let's be honest, right? I'm not saying it's bad.
The last Marvel movie that I watched that I felt like a Feige produced joint was Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, probably. And before that, I mean, I don't know how. I think he was very involved in Eternals. I don't even know. But that being said,
there was a little bit of Shang-Chi had a little bit of it. Eternals had a little bit of it, but everything else has been very much like hands off. Like you can tell Feige was very hands off with Thor and Doctor Strange.
For sure, yeah, absolutely. And look what happens, right? But I mean, I guess it's his choice he makes because there's just too much. It's too much going on. And now Blade is good. This movie, and I looked it up. It was set for 2023 or late.
Okay.
When I saw it, that could be.
So it's probably going to be it's probably 2024 then, and it's probably going to connect closer to the Kang Dynasty.
Maybe.
I think that's probably.
I don't think he's going to be involved in that, to be honest with you. At this point, because they don't have a hand on.
Well, then it's going to be Secret Wars.
Maybe I don't even know. I mean, because so many projects have no consequence to anything of the major storyline that we've seen, right? Nothing in Moon Knight. Not saying it's not.
Well, I mean,
not that saying it's not good, but I'm saying that nothing in Moon Knight or Captain America.
If the character is a legacy character where he's like, it's now their introduction into the MCU, I feel like that character takes more importance now. I think like Daredevil, Ghost Rider, Fantastic Four, Blade, and the X-Men are being recalibrated to bring more significance because they're legacy characters.
I don't know. I would say yes, but the fact that they have no idea what the fuck is going on with Blade tells me they have absolutely zero plan for Blade. Zero. Because if you can't get that first movie right, how you even think about how is he going to fit in down the road?
Which is,
right?
I'm glad
you know what I'm saying?
Which I'm glad they're delaying the project. I get it right. Don't fuck around with this.
No, right. Well, I mean, listen, the director didn't drop out. They would have gone forward with it. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Kevin Feige got rid of him. He just didn't want no part of this nonsense. He really didn't.
I think Kevin Feige got rid of him and said, "You'll still get to be an executive producer, but we're gonna go another way."
I don't know. I don't blame the director. Like I said, right? Who's at the top of the list? It's Kevin Feige. At the end of the day, I don't care.
That's
the
why
director could have wrote it.
He's the one who pulled
the cord. He could have filmed the whole thing. At the end of the day, it's Kevin Feige's name. Like Kathleen Kennedy. It's the same thing, right? When it sucks, it's her fault. It's just when it's good, she takes credit. So does Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige fucked up Blade. That's it. Period. Doesn't matter what the director did.
He didn't fuck it up because it hasn't come out yet. He delayed Blade.
He
delayed it. Delayed it.
4 weeks before. This is Kathleen Kennedy nonsense. You can't tell me 4 weeks before it starts filming now you want to get rid of the script. That's nonsense. Why is the script should have been approved literally 2 years ago, and that's how it works. 2 years. Like, you can't tell me Feige didn't read the script and all of a sudden now it sucks. You can't say that. He fucked up. Which, listen,
think it made sense.
It's not insulting. Everyone makes mistakes. It's like, listen, it's his watch. He's not involved. He fucked up. If he's involved, he's still fucked up. How I slice it, he's fucked up. He's not there. That's his fault for not being there, for not managing the project. That's what he's supposed to do. He fucked this one up, big time, big time.
For me, what I think is going on with this, with the end results, is that he didn't fuck up because if he released a bad movie, then he fucked up.
Look, I'm with you, but this is what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. You can't wait 2 weeks before filming to say, "Oh, it's bad." You can't. That is a major fuck up. If this was 6 months ago, no problem. No problem. Fine. Dude, this is ready to rock. Pre-production have been going on for months. For months. You can't just say, "Oh, let's start over." He fucked up, and that's fine. It is what it is. It happens, right? I'm glad they corrected it and not release shit. Agreed. But he still let it get he can let it go this far before he says, hold up. You know what I'm saying? So that was my issue. But again, it's because, again, the stories, he's not around much. And that explains a lot. And I love Blade. It's a shame. But listen, get it right. I'm with you there. Get it right. Right? If it's delayed 6 months, a year, whatever. But it's rare for MCU to go this route. We haven't seen them from them at all, right? We've seen a couple of directors leave. That's usually early on the project. Like Edgar Wright, a long time ago, he left way before Ant-Man was even in script form. And I think so.
With the director of Doctor Strange, when he left, like 2 months after the announcement of the movie, it hasn't even started yet.
So, it happens. Directors leave all the time. I don't care who the year is. It happens everywhere. But not this close. It's odd. It's very odd because everything. And it's not like the director just left. It was director, script. Ali hated it. I mean, it's a lot of stuff on tattoo action scene.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'll tell you who's happiest: Mahershala Ali.
Of course, get a better movie. He's gonna be part of this nonsense. Because listen, I'm sure he can't do other projects because he's tied to this as an actor, right? He's got to pass on stuff.
That's fine.
Which is fine.
He wasn't really. Look, he's got a lot of heat on him, but he wasn't really like.
Oh no, it's not his fault.
Making 6 movies a year kind of thing.
But I'm saying he was getting it. But still, he's the kind of guy that likes to do these small projects. He's a 2-time winner, right? I mean,
I'm sure he could still do a TV thing here or there.
But it's just being held up because now the whole schedule changes. And,
I got you.
So it's like, man, what is even like
do a voiceover on a commercial. You'll be fine. You make a little scratch, everything's fine. Listen, when they bring back the Choco Taco, fucking Mahershala Ali doing his like, it's back, baby. Like there you go, perfect, wonderful.
Constantine, you're fine. So yeah, so that's a little bad news. But let's go to the good news, the good thing here. And this is something I didn't know, and I don't know for the life of me why it was not announced at D23. I don't understand. And now it's Hugh Jackman on board with Deadpool 3, right? Which is awesome. Right, which has been rumored for a long time to begin with. There was a lot of chatter.
Wait, you knew this and you didn't tell me?
I told you there's 2 big pieces. This was one of those. One, I still haven't heard what's going on with that. But this is one of the ones that I had heard about before, which I was hoping that, because we know D23 talked about, maybe at Comic-Con, I had a feeling that Ryan Reynolds was going to come out. Nope. D23. Nope. I just don't know why you wait 2 or 3 weeks and then announce it. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever. It's odd.
You know what I think it is? I think this was happened. Marvel knew that there was nothing going on, like event wise, and when they found out that the director was going to bow out of Blade, he goes, "What's going to smack the taste of Blade out of everyone's mouth? I know this.
I guess.
Hold that phone. Release like the day the Blade news comes out, the day after you do this, and make everyone shut the hell up."
Maybe they're trying to hold it for another day, but it's just weird because this I did hear. But okay, but they announced it, so it's open season. So yeah, dude, this is great. I think this is awesome. I can't wait for this fucking movie now. To be honest with you.
It is everything that clearly people like us been wanting. The Deadpool has been fawning over Hugh Jackman since Deadpool 1. It had to happen. It was hopefully a matter of time. We were all sad when Hugh Jackman died in Logan. Deadpool 2 literally starts with him bitching that Logan died. So it makes perfect sense that you finally bring him in.
I mean, even from the first movie, he's been in a love affair with Hugh Jackman, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he had Hugh Jackman's face stapled to his skull, like it was there forever.
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
yes.
And even I think in credits in part 1 or part 2 is that one where he shoots himself? He's making the movie. Was it part 2?
He shoots his mouth itself in front of Origin. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, this would be. I mean, you can just do a road trip with these two guys, whatever, and fantastic. I'm all in. That's everything.
You can do whatever version of a movie you want. Perfect. You can do the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
That's fine.
With Logan and Deadpool.
You can do the monsters with these guys, and I'll be fine with it.
Dumb and Dumber. Do Dumb and Dumber. And it's
Dumber. What was the second one? Do that with these two guys. I'm good. Yeah. Dude, I mean, another thing I'll ask you is like, do you think it's like, I mean, how do you bring him back? Is I would assume
very simple.
Multiverse thing, right? I would assume. I guess I don't know.
No, it's not even multiverse yet. It's not multiverse yet. You know, because Logan was set in the year 2029.
Okay.
And we're going to be in 2024. So you can take him out of time right before, drop him back, and maybe something like at the end, Wolverine's like, "Are you going to come back?" And he's like, "No, I'm going to keep checking this place out." He goes, "All right, well, I'll see you around." And he's like, "No, you won't." Like, what? Don't worry about it. Have fun.
That's a good.
Say your daughter for me. My what?
You're right. I forgot that took place in the future, quote unquote. So that's an angle to take. Yeah, okay. I mean, if they don't do that, the only thing I can think of is like I say multiverse kind of thing. I don't know. Like maybe I don't know. But I mean, just trying to think how they fit him in because, you know.
I mean, I've heard. Apparently, the big talk online is that Feige is going to use a lot of the Fox properties in Secret Wars to give them a proper send off before recasting everything. Except for Fantastic Four, which will be recast before.
Yeah, obviously, because we don't want to see the other cast. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, listen, I think this is a great idea. I can't wait for this movie. It's risen at the top of the ranks as far as anticipated.
No notes. Like it as is. No notes. Go ahead.
Bad script. You don't need a script. Just put them on screen. Improv this shit.
Just improv, bro. Let Ryan Reynolds improv and just have Hugh Jackman snarl and get angry. That's all you need.
A little quick fight scene. Yada yada. The arms fall off. They grow back. Whatever.
Tons of healing factor powers. Tons of healing factor powers.
And I hear they're doing talks with Zazie Beetz to come back. She played Domino.
Good. She should. She's great.
We'll see. Maybe Josh Brolin.
Bring back the dude who did Colossus and Mega Sonic.
You have to bring them back. I don't see how you don't bring them back. There's any two characters that we need is them two.
So much fun.
They are. They need those two characters in this. They really do. I mean.
And if you could do Josh Brolin as Cable, chef's kiss. Oh my God. That's the team right there.
I can't wait. I mean, I'm stoked about this. And so that's 2020. It's a little way away, but this might come out before Blade. At this point, put Blade in this. Fuck it. Fuck Blade.
It should be called Deadpool 3. Better than Blade.
Yeah. Put Ali in there. Everybody wins, man. Forget it, dude. Make him the baddie and Wolverine and Deadpool going after him. Oh my God, forget it. I'm in love already. So very exciting. So I'm just kind of curious why they put the news after. But whatever. But yes, I'm glad I'm able to talk about it and stuff. I'm still waiting for one more piece. I haven't heard anything from that yet. But whatever. Next big thing, because stay with Marvel, Wakanda Forever dropping their trailer.
Which
was an awesome trailer until the very end, and they fucking ruined it. They really did.
Wow.
Just absolutely destroyed the trailer.
How?
I'll get to it now because I like the little name or little wings and their feet. That's hilarious. By the way,
that was great.
That's straight from the comics. But
I would have liked it if they made it flap a little faster, so it's almost like hummingbird wings where you can't even see it, but it's like a blur. I would have liked it like that.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I gotta see a trailer again. I saw it, but I wasn't like.
I mean, it's fast, but I wanted like just blur effect.
Okay,
So then it just slows down. You see, it's the wings.
Fair
you know,
enough, but
that's how I would have.
It's a funny thing for
just
those who aren't in the know. You look at it like that looks silly. Like, it does, but it's kind of cool. I mean, whatever.
It's comic books.
It's
comic books. Is always
right?
Like
it's
15% silly.
Right.
Get over it.
The casual fan like, what the fuck is that? And I get it.
Think about it. In the real world, if some dude is ripped like a golden god, would he put on tights? No. But it's silly, so he does. It's
clear.
fun.
He doesn't skip leg day, and that's pretty clear. So good for him. So
because all the swimmers kicks like that all the time. So,
but let's get to the end. Because listen,
what's the problem? Where's your complaint now?
Things. One, I don't know. I don't know why this Marvel has a propensity to show the whole fucking movie. I get it. I don't get it, but them showing you Black Panther at the end, I hated that. Right? That should be a big reveal surprise within the film. Whatever.
Listen, I disagree with you, and I'll tell you why. It's a misdirect.
Not from what I hear, dude.
Because you and me
have
both heard the same rumors that there's going to be more than one Black Panther.
The rumors, yes. The confirmation is not there. There's more confirmation I got that this is Black Panther.
I heard that there's going to be at least 3 people in Black Panther suits.
Maybe, which is not the best idea either. But whatever.
Well, it is because that's why.
It should have been I think you and I agree. It should have been recast to begin with, right?
No, of course. In a perfect world, they should have recast it.
That would have been the best way to go.
But because they did what they did, I think there's a reason why they let you know it's a misdirect. Because when the female Black Panther lands, you hear Angela Bassett going, "Show them who we are." We is the operative word. More than one. That's what I think it is. That's why I think it's going to be 3.
I haven't got confirmation. That was always something was talked about. I don't know if that's the case, and I did hear someone might eat it in this movie as far as dying, but whatever. I'll save that one. I'm not spoil it for anybody.
Right. I heard the same thing. But I'm not gonna. Yeah, I know it's very.
But this is going to the assumption is 1, right?
Okay.
Fine. The fact that it's Shuri, I think, is the worst idea in MCU has ever had.
It happens in the comics.
Oh no, I get it, but I'm sure in the comics it was done differently. The narrator with her. She's a great character. She is. But she couldn't defeat a fly. She can't fight. Period. And I know this movie takes place 5 or 6 years from the events of when we last saw him. But in the 5 or 6 years, she was blipped. So she weren't learning how to fight. You can't tell me come back here in a few months and now she's a badass. Black Panther is a warrior. She is a lab rat. Period. It does not fit. Not like. I'm not saying
she can fight a little bit, but she's nowhere on
par.
Right.
M'Baku would be a much better choice if you're gonna go, or even what's her face from the
Dora Milaje,
right? The main guy, or even the princess, whatever. She's a warrior. She's a fighter. That makes sense to me. That no problem with that. It's just Shuri itself. She's narratively speaking, she does not qualify for Black Panther at all. They can have 8 Black Panthers. Fine. She should never be anywhere near a suit. Put
in the comic books.
It might be set up different in the comics. That's fine.
When she first tried to be out, she actually lost because she wasn't a good fighter, but she became a good fighter.
That takes years.
And I feel like that's,
you know what I'm saying, that takes time.
Right.
Right. I know you can suspend disbelief, but
there's going to be multiple. That's why I think there's going to be multiple Black Panthers, because she's going to not be as good a fighter. And so they're going to need like 2 or 3 of them to.
Perhaps that could save this a little bit, but I still don't think she should be in it. I'm just going to assumption that she's there, right? She's the one that's going to take the mantle.
Sure, let's assume
that idea. I think it's terrible. You give me 2 or 3, that's fine. I can live with that. I have no problem with that, right? But all we know, we're only going with what they showed us, right? So let's see. But that aside, the trailer looks fucking awesome.
It looks great.
It looks great.
It looks so good.
God, man,
I got to tell you, my favorite line in this trailer is early on where you hear Namor say, "Only people who are broken can become great leaders." And I'm like, oh, man, that resonates. That feels, that's such a good line. Like, Ryan Coogler, like, man.
Ryan is a great director.
Knows how to
this is the only reason why I'm excited for this movie. Because I have no reason to be excited for an AMC movie. Let's be honest. He makes me excited for the film because he's a great filmmaker.
Absolutely.
I heard it's like the second longest film they've ever done. So I'm not sure that's good or bad, to be honest with you. I guess it depends. Sometimes too much is too much.
Well, listen, the 2 longest movies have been Infinity War and Endgame. So if you're around that caliber, I'm good. Make that.
I mean, if they're gonna do, the quality wise, sure. I love Coogler, so I have total confidence it's gonna be really good. I'm sure it's gonna be. I like the tribute they had early on with the child and all that. Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of people wearing white that day, because in the funeral they were wearing white and all that stuff. So it looks great. It looks great. The song choice was fantastic. I'm excited, man. I really am. This is a month and a half away. Really excited. So I'm hoping
it is a thing to look forward to besides Thanksgiving in November.
It's gonna be very disappointing, to be honest with you.
Oh, it'll be such a freaking bummer. Such a bummer.
And I'm a little concerned because I can only go what they're giving us, right? Let's be honest. Thor was fine, whatever. Doctor Strange was fine, but you were excited for Doctor Strange more than I was. I was excited.
I was excited more about
I was excited for Thor a lot more than you, and then we both left kind of like.
Right. And both of us were like, it's okay. It's not the worst, but it's not what we wanted.
It wasn't anywhere near what we expected. So I hope this one hits it. This is
phase 4.
It'd be typical of this ends phase 4 on a lackluster point. But I don't see it.
I don't
see it.
I hope not.
But then again, I
was
hyping Taika Waititi too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we both were,
right? I don't know. Listen, they fucked this up. A lot of people were disappointed. So, but either way, from what it seems, it looks great. It really does. Unlike She-Hulk, it's time for the weekly.
I have been loving this series more and more, enjoying it. Really having a good time. I'm laughing out loud.
This show gets worse. Now it's become a bad show. It really is. And it's funny because
it's not. It's a really good show. It's a really good show. I really enjoy it.
It makes perfect sense of why I think there's more people in my camp, right? Just because of the fact that this is the worst performing MCU show. The only MCU show that hasn't even cracked the top 10 in viewership among streaming. The only show of MCU that's never done that. There was like 8 or 9 shows on Netflix. Shows which I've seen which, okay, what did I say? The okay shows are still way better than this. Nielsen ratings came out like after week 4 or 5. The only one. Nobody watches the show because this show sucks. And it's the reason why no one's watching it. This I think got even worse, less views than Miss Marvel, because Miss Marvel just wasn't a known property. So I get it. And that was a pretty low bar. That was half of what WandaVision did. Half. Miss Marvel.
And by the way, they proved that Miss Marvel was getting the same numbers as Peacemaker, so she wasn't getting horrible numbers.
So get bad numbers from what they're used to, from what that WandaVision. I mean, half the viewers is half the viewers. I mean, it's a drop off, right? This is even lower than that. So I mean, you gotta look at the number. I mean, if you're used to getting straight A's and get a C, that's not good, right? You know, it is what it is. So okay. So it's underperforming according to their standards and what they've normally done. You have a show that can't crack the top 10.
I feel it's a lot of people that had a misconception of what the show was going to be or wanted it to be something else instead of just a fun, irreverent take on the Marvel Universe. That's what I came in for, and I'm getting exactly what I expected. So I don't understand what the problem is. It's actually funny. The characters are entertaining and charming. There's a quippiness, there's a jovialness, and every freaking episode, this series moves the Marvel Universe effortlessly into its next phase. And it was like, but where's Daredevil? Dude, watch the series. It's great. But Daredevil,
you have to admit, right?
And you're here, yeah, motherfucker. Wait.
You have to admit, that's the reason why people. It's like you go to a concert, right? And you have the opening act. Get off the fucking stage, bro. Let's bring on, the main attraction. And when the main attraction is a cameo, no one's enjoying the show, dude. I'm sorry to tell you. I know you like it, and I get it, right? I'm sure it's like 6 people like this show, but it's a bunch. And I seen things on women. And I thought this might hit with women more than guys, right? Obviously, because there's a show that hates on men. What is what it is? I don't give a shit.
It doesn't hate on men. I disagree with you on that too.
The women I've seen like half, like close to a dozen and a half, like things that just popped out of curiosity, right? What do women say about the show on YouTube?
Right.
They're the ones that say it's man-hating. And they're not the guys. It's them. And they hate the fucking show. Which shocks me. I'm like, this show... I thought... Just notice how much I know because I'm not a female. So whatever. It was geared more towards that. And they're like... And I read stuff on there. This man-hating thing as the MCU. Which is true. And I get it. I don't care. But it is true.
That sounds more like dude saw the MCU.
I'll send you links to a couple. I swear to God. These are women saying it. I didn't get that vibe. I'm watching it. Not me personally. But...
I think to me it was hating on like toxic dudes or like dudes who are like like, bro, what's going on? Like, so, like chats.
I mean,
That's
when
what
they were
it came
saying,
off
it's saying
of,
like,
to me.
all the guys are like on this show for the most part, right? I guess so. Things that she does and whatever. And I was reading on, and I was listening. Like, it makes sense, but whatever. But when the show's not hitting with the women, that's a problem, man. And everyone agrees. And like, and one thing the guys and the girls would agree on, it's just not funny. Dude, I'm sorry, dude, it's not funny.
I disagree with that. I think it's generally funny.
It's not funny. It's pointless. The show's pointless. There's no.
It's not pointless. It's literally it is doing a fun sitcom character take on a character that plays well as a sitcom character, and it's repositioning the Marvel universe. And everyone is like, "Where's Daredevil?" That's all they focus on.
That's all that you can watch. Listen, am I meaning?
That's not true. You're watching.
Because give me the steak enough of this. Listen, She-Hulk's the salad. Can you put that aside? Bring me the fucking main. Can I get the steak here? And that's what Daredevil is. Even if it goes on one episode.
She-Hulk is the steak.
Croutons on this. She's the sprouts on this salad, dude. It's terrible.
You have a steak in front of you, and you're like, but it's not
so bad.
But I was watching with my brother, right? The steak I want. Like, there's steak in front of you. Stop being such a puss and eat your steak, and you're gonna get your other thing too, man. Just gotta wait a little.
How bad the show is. Like,
it's a bunch of crybabies.
Let me give you an example. So I'm watching this with my brother, right? We know we first time I watched the show again. He was visiting the night last week.
Okay.
We put it on, the first scene or whatever. She's with that guy. Before even the scene came out, I'm like, oh, this guy's the villain. It's obvious. My brother gave me a look. Of course he's the villain, because this show's writing is so fucking bad. Not even before he shows up, I'm already saying he's the villain. That's exactly because this show sucks. The writing sucks. There's no stakes. You know, who didn't know that was the bad guy? If you didn't know, you're an idiot. If you didn't know that guy was the bad guy. Shitty fucking writing. Even from the first episode, when she's talking about she's always angry and this and that. Show us, don't tell us. A key to any medium. Show us, don't tell us. When you tell us, it has no meaning. You can tell us after you show us. But the thing is, that's writing 101. She's talking about, oh, I deal with the guys this and that. Show us that first. When she's talking about it, has more weight. That's good writing.
But here's the thing. She tells you this, and what she shows you is the opposite of what she tells. She's trying to sell an idea of who she is or wants to be versus the reality. And every episode, she's learning more and more that she has to learn. That everything that Bruce warned her about, she is experiencing while telling her, I know what I'm doing. If anything, she's too cocky and arrogant, and she's learning the hard way.
Experiences. There's a scene where she's talking about how she's always angry because guys do this and guys do that. Show us that.
Right, because she's selling her misconception of what it takes to be a She-Hulk, and she doesn't know yet.
This is when she's just a normal woman. Forget She-Hulk. Before she was She-Hulk.
I remember. I saw the episode.
I'm saying that we know that show it. There's an effect when you write. It's just bad. It's just really bad. It's just not. It's not. You can say whatever you want, sugarcoat it. It's just shitty writing. You can still move on. I can watch a horror movie with just shitty writing and still enjoy it because it's scary. A comedy just needs to be funny. This is not. I'm telling you, there's like 3 shows I can name right now which are just infinitely better than this show. The only reason we watch it is that's Marvel. Let's be honest. If this was not a Marvel show, we're not watching it. It's a fact.
I would actually watch the show. I find the show enjoyable.
It's really.
I find the show enjoyable. Even if it wasn't
enjoy it, but again, there's a reason why no one's liking it. It's getting a lot of shit. It is what it is, dude. It's a bad show.
It's the same thing with another show that we're going to talk about is Andor. And there's apparently a lot of negative buzz on Andor. I think Andor is great.
Nothing but good things from Andor.
I've heard nothing but negative things about Andor, and I think it's great. It is so good. It makes me forget I'm watching Star Wars. It feels more like Blade Runner.
No, listen, and we get to it. Yeah, we can get to it now. But this is the example of what a good show is, right? Because you can watch Andor and watch She-Hulk, and She-Hulk looks even fucking worse. Because now it's like
but it's a whole different
is a Civic, and you just finished driving Maserati with Andor. You're like, why the fuck am I in this Civic? This show sucks.
It's a whole different tone.
And I think people overall they have the same mentality. Like, listen, there's so much to watch. Why are you watching this mediocrity of a show that has no weight, that has nothing? It might be the funniest show of all time. Fine, great. Nobody gives a fuck because there's too many good shit on TV to watch garbage that MCU wants to put out. I guarantee that Marvel, no one's watching. Like some Star Wars shows, if they didn't say Star Wars, they ain't watching. We ain't watching Boba Fett, but they didn't say Star Wars because that show sucked, right? Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
we kept watching
rough.
It. Yeah, it had Star Wars in it. Let's be honest, it did. If this was some other show.
To be fair, those Mando episodes are pretty good.
They were good, but that was episode 5 and 6. By that time, worthy off the show, right? If it ain't just Star Wars, that's the same thing. It has Marvel attached to it, but watching, you know why? Because you want to see Daredevil. Let's be honest. Why is it,
I
right?
see. I want to see She-Hulk.
You know, right, but I think most people like, but you hear a lot about where's the devil, because you know that's what they promise and they're under delivering. He's gonna show up in the last episode.
Yes.
It's gonna be jokey, you know, the terrible fucking episode where they actually may show a villain. I don't know about you, but any show that gives us the villain the last episode is not a good show. Sorry, it's not. And I talked about other shows. The villain needs to be established early to build him up. Otherwise, it's nonsense. And this is what the show is.
Wait a minute. We've literally had a talk where we said we don't even need a villain for every season. Give us like random one-offs.
But this show,
we were because
this show's setting it up. It's setting it up. From the second episode where she was attacked, so you can't set it up and just forget about it. Like, we'll come back to this guy, which you all knew was gonna happen anyway, and then okay, we'll show up in episode 9. You can't do that. And we talked about the same thing with Boba Fett. The words of fucking villain. The same thing. We had the same conversation, and you agreed with me at that time. It's the same thing here. You set up a villain that's a potential villain out there. Okay, bring him out. Who is he? Why? What's going on? You don't wait till the last episode to do that. Really? Come on, man. That's just shitty writing. It's shitty writing. It's a poorly executed show.
See, to me, because it looks they've been slowly framing it now that the villain is the intelligentsia. The intelligentsia is connected to MODOK and connected to the leader. The leader just got announced in Captain America. MODOK's going to be in Ant-Man. So to me, it's like you're moving these pieces along to get to that.
You know, for a fact, or you're just guessing?
That MODOK and the leader are part of the intelligentsia?
No, but they're going to be on the show. Or even the leader's going to be on the show.
I don't know if they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to be.
But that's a problem. That's what I'm saying. We should at least know who is behind it. You can't set this up, because then the show actually has no way. It's a superhero show, dude. I don't care. You make it a comedy, fine. You can make it a comedy and still have it be a superhero show. You really can. Like, you can have Batman be a detective in a superhero movie. It's possible. You can't just take a superhero film, take all the superhero aspects of anything that we ever see, any trope, and just give us a comedy. Guess what? It's not a superhero show. It's not Marvel. It's a lame comedy. Give us both. You can give us both. That's all I'm saying. Give us the superhero aspect. Give us the comedy, and it's not doing that.
I'm enjoying it because it's to me. I'm enjoying it because it's funny. There's a lot of
Peacemaker is funny.
Restructuring, not world building.
Peacemaker funny.
No, Peacemaker is fucking.
Okay, now
this is funny.
And that's a show that
it's like sitcom funny.
The balance of something funny, and also gives us the weight of a superhero property, right? You can't do both here, and it's like the refusal to do that, and the writing is really bad, dude. If it wasn't for Daredevil, I honestly would have been out. But I do want to see Daredevil because I want to see only because I want to see I want to see how they destroy this character. He's gonna be out there juggling, bowling pins. Hey guys, Daredevil. That's what he's gonna do. And then you're gonna watch her face in the screen. He's got bowling pins. Break the fourth wall, and all of a sudden that's like a genius move by doing that, like every other show does that in the last 50 years. It's
what are the odds?
Nonsense.
Okay, look. I'll tell you this. I will admit that She-Hulk is a bad show overall, if and only if when Daredevil shows up, if he says a version of "Oh, sorry, they didn't see you there,"
then
I'm out.
He's so bad.
If he does a version, then I'm like, you know what, Jose, you're right, I was wrong. If they don't do that, I'm sticking by my guns. I like the show.
I want to watch it now just to see what Omega does. Oh my god, it'll be the worst joke ever. Talk about low hanging fruit, so bad.
If they do that, I know I'm gonna get text message from you like, so you hate the show, huh?
I told you. It'd be so bad. But I could see the show doing it. Let's be honest, right? Can you admit that they could actually go that route? Right? It's possible.
I could see it, but here's the truth. I could see it being done right, but if they do it wrong, I'm out. That's literally like.
On the last episode, you almost there. You almost had you. Damn it.
Oh man, I'm gonna get so mad if they do it. I'm like, oh, you had it in your hand and you dropped it. It's like a fumble.
Score. But let's focus on, like we said, on a good show. We can both agree it's a much better show, right? And that's Andor, right?
Andor is so.
It's really good. I mean, we had a concern. I know I did because we've gotten burned so many times. But yeah, the Andor came out. It's 4 episodes in. Once tomorrow, can't wait to see that. I love the fucking tone of it. I'm moving away from this kind of family-friendly stuff we've gotten before, particularly with Obi-Wan and Boba Fett. Serious show, right? Character-driven. There's no like Easter eggs every 2 seconds.
You see characters about to smash.
Yeah.
Like she takes off her shirt and she's like, turns off the lights and like, oh shit, oh guys, cover your eyes. Like it was great.
Which is weird to see this, right? It's weird to see it, but in a good way. I like it.
Yeah,
like it.
The episode 1 starts off in a space whorehouse. It gets crazy. So to me, I was thinking about this. I go, I think all Star Wars should be divided into 2 camps: Mando and Andor, and nothing in between. You want to make it work? These are the 2 camps. Maybe you could do other variations, like, oh, this is like a murder mystery, and this is like a haunted house or whatever. But it has to be the tone of like family friendly. The family friendliest you can get is Mandalorian.
Agreed.
Nothing friendlier than that.
Agreed. Because that one toes the line right there.
Darkest you should get. Yeah. Exactly. And the darkest is Andor. Because Andor's pretty dark.
It's dark, man.
Pretty mature.
It's a heady show.
For Star Wars, it's pretty dark.
It strikes the right tone. Now, listen, I'm still not happy about... Because the story it's really well made, right? There's part of me saying, why are we in this timeline? I get it, fine. I'm trying to get past that, right? I'm just trying to look at it, judge it on its own merits. Because I do wish they expand the universe in a galaxy far, far away. That being said, if you're going to give us this, do it right. Right? Fine. So, and it's hitting on notes, man. It's a show, man. And I hear next couple episodes are great, by the way. The 2 best ones from what I hear.
So excited.
Just right now, really picking up a lot of, it started off kind of slow, but in a good way, right? We talk about pacing, kind of Game of Thrones, where it's slow, but it's a lot of character building. The pieces are being moved. Unlike Lord of the Rings, it was just slow for the sake of being slow. That show did get better, by the way, but whatever. We'll talk about that later, another day. But yeah, so Andor's a great character. I love the guy.
And by the way, because of Andor, it actually has given me more hope for the Daredevil series.
Let's not go that far. Let's one step at a time.
It shows that they are willing to play with.
Let's see
close to that tone.
If he's juggling bowling balls, and when we see him in She-Hulk, before we start making those kind of comments. I'll refrain.
We shall see. But I'm just saying, and I don't mean Daredevil for She-Hulk. I mean Daredevil for Born Again.
What we get in She-Hulk's going to be the version we're going to get, right? As far as at least him.
The beta version, the intro, yeah.
Look, Daredevil in clown shoes doesn't work. He just want to see with the big nose, Hong Kong. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it.
Well, he doesn't know what he dresses like. It's it's fun.
But anyway, so back to Andor. But yeah, this is legit. This may end up being better than Mandalorian. Is that a hot take there?
I think what. Once
again, I'm not saying it
I
is.
disagree. I think it's going to be 2 equally good but different things.
Sure.
It's like comparing the first Iron Man with the Dark Knight. Both came out of the same year. Both were huge successes, but their tones are totally different.
Not different show, but as far as being said, which is the best one out of the Star Wars shows, not a lot of them. This could end up maybe being better. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it could potentially.
I would say this show is clearly on track to be Mandalorian level, which means quality and story is thought out.
More, right? It could change. I mean, maybe it ends like shit. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. But for now, it's only I can judge by 4 episodes. That's all I get. So for now, it's hitting it, and I'll credit Kathleen Kennedy. I'll give her credit when credit's due. Well, she did anything or not, I don't know, but her name's at the top of the list, so whatever, right? She's the head boss.
So
you gotta give props for what props is given. It is what it is.
Once every 12 swings.
Right, listen.
It's a solid hit.
A good whistle player hits 250, 275. That's less than 3 out of 10. You still get a base hit. So yeah, dude. I mean, I'm shocked. I really am. I'm happily surprised. I mean, it's not the greatest show of all time. Don't get me wrong, but it's really good, man. And for a Star Wars show,
really good. Man, and like I said, it almost doesn't feel like Star Wars. It's almost like
it doesn't.
Space.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like you can call this something else, and like, this is a good example of a show that you take Star Wars away, I'm still watching, right?
Very much so.
Very much so. It wasn't, but like this one's like, okay, let's forget this. This is whatever, some space show on Sci-Fi Channel or whatever the fuck it is, right? It's a good show because it's well done.
You could just say it's an oppressive space regime, and these people are starting to break free and create a revolution. Right. That's
exactly. This is
it could be anything. It doesn't have to be Star Wars.
Kind of almost feels like Star Wars and whatever. But you're watching because it doesn't matter. You're right. There's little Easter eggs in there. You don't have none of that nonsense, right?
But those are even so small.
And they're very small.
You're not just. Yeah, like if you don't know who Mon Mothra is, you're not gonna be like, "Oh, cool, she's there." Like,
right, but she's an integral part of this. She's not shoehorned in there because
very much so.
Because she's obviously part of the story, and they focused on her a little bit on the last episode. There's a purpose for her being there, right? I don't want to see just character pop in, and then pop out. I hate when it happens. We saw a lot with Obi-Wan, Boba Fett. thank you for not doing that nonsense, because it breaks the tone as it is, right? It'll take
Yeah,
you out
it
of
really
it, but
would.
it's just
It really
not.
would.
So, dude, man, I can't wait to see how this ends. I think it was 12 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Is there 12?
It's I think it's 12 episodes. Yeah,
12?
10 or
I
12.
think 12.
10 or 12,
Season
something
2 is
like
already
that.
filming. Of course it is, because it's really good.
Oh, it's 12 because they were talking to Dustin Trevorrow, the guy who's directing this, and he also directed Rogue One, and they were like, so how do you feel the project? And he's like, it's sometimes I get really exhausted because I realize by the time I'm done, I would have created 24 hours of Star Wars.
Oh, okay. So
24 hours,
episodes,
12
but
and
it's about
12.
30 minutes a show, more or less 30, 35 minutes.
No, it's about 45, almost an hour sometimes.
I haven't seen one, maybe the first one. After that, it's been like 30, after the the credits and stuff. Around there, I can go back and check. Maybe I get confused with She-Hulk as far as the length and all that. You may be right. I think it's 30 but either way, they're not 4-hour long episodes. They're not, right? For some reason, Disney still refuses to do that. Fine, whatever. It is okay.
Well, I know like episode 3. I know episode 1 and episode 3 are close to an hour.
Episode 1, I think it was.
And 3 too. Episode 3, I think it's close to an hour. I think it's like 50 minutes or something like that.
It still has those long credits, right? Am I wrong? I don't even know.
No, the credits are pretty tight.
I just turned it off. I didn't even remember like seeing if that was the case or not. Let me look at Andor. Now I'm just curious because now I just want to know. Disney Plus on the phone. So the first one's 42 minutes. It's 42 minutes, 38 minutes, 43 minutes. The first 3 episodes. So looking about, it's shorter than
About
than
40
we would
minutes.
like.
We'll do round about 40
depends.
minutes.
So I mean, it's not an hour long, it's not 45, but it's not a little more than 30. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I mean, as long as it's well made, I can give a shit, right? It's the right name. So yeah, dude, I'm excited to talk about this more in a couple weeks and see. Because then these next 2 episodes, when I hear, are really good. I mean, the show keeps getting people. A couple people I know have seen it. They saw the first 6. And they're saying that this last 3, including the last one we just saw, were the best episodes. Sequentially.
Awesome! I can't wait. Yeah, I've not been disappointed. I only keep getting happier and happier
nice to have a
every
good
time.
Star Wars show. Is that too much
It
to
really
ask
is.
for?
It
Are
really
we asking
is.
too much? No. Just give us, some consistency, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking for. That's all I want. And every show has to be great. Fine. You give us the Boba Fett's. Fine. Obi-Wan's. But you got to give us some good shit in between. And you just can't Mandalorian. It can't be Mando the whole thing.
Star Wars
it needs more than Mando.
On, Star Wars cannot depend on fan edits to save
right. No, you get it right the first time. The fans getting involved, you got a problem. So excited. So yeah, definitely good stuff, Matty. I never thought. I was hoping, but I didn't think it would be this good. We talked about it. I mean, Obi-Wan really brought me down. I had no faith in this.
I know. It was a bummer. It was a bummer.
Oh God,
especially because Moon Knight was not perfect, but it was a solid series. They were like, if it could just be Moon Knight, I'll be happy. And unfortunately, it was not.
It was not even close.
It wasn't consistent enough to get to that level.
It's early.
It was a bit of a disappointment.
Like I'll take this over Moon Knight, Andor-wise, so far.
I mean,
but I'm more of a Star Wars guy.
Andor is playing to be a much more mature and high quality show. Yeah. So it is. I feel like in terms of production value alone, I do feel like it's better than Moon Knight. The show looks great, though. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a Moon Knight fan, but like production value alone, and as far as like real, like everyone is in on the stakes. Yeah. Andor's where it's at.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely, that weight behind. It's really good. Man, I'm excited about this show. I really am. And I haven't said in a while about Star Wars, so thank God.
It feels good to say. It feels good to say
when it's not associated with Mandalorian, because Mandalorian's going to be great. We know that, right? Well,
right.
It better be great.
Absolutely.
That's not good. But yeah, dude. With that being said, ending on a high note for a bi-weekly show for the next couple weeks. Hopefully no one's getting fired. Or they don't fire the director for Captain America 4 or something or whatever.
But if they do, please check our social medias at Instagram at NerdsplainingPod or on Twitter on Nerdsplaining_, and we will tell you all the updates of anything that happens while we are taking this additionally long break where we get studios and things set up and more information to share with you guys. So we'll be doing that as well. Also, real fast, Jose, something I just caught this series. I know you haven't watched it, but I wanted to bring it up. I forgot to tell you. The Irregulars on Netflix. Super dope show. I don't know if you've talked about it on the watch list or not.
The Imperfects?
I thought it was the Irregulars.
With the succubus and the... Am I talking about the right show?
Banshee.
The Banshee, that one?
And Chupacabra?
Yeah, that's the right. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, it's the Imperfects. Yeah. I know it's...
Oh, I thought it was the regulars.
Cool show.
Okay.
Actually, really cool show. Yeah, we talked. Yeah, because there's a
surprisingly good show. If you guys,
it started a little wonky,
I want to binge
but the
like
last
8
ended
episodes.
really well. Like the last 4 or 5 episodes.
It ended really well, and that's what we were so happy.
Yeah.
It definitely has like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of feel, but not that, and it's a lot of fun. I surprised how much I like it. It was one of the things where I watched one episode and I ended up binging the whole series.
I hope it gets picked up. I really do. It's kind of almost like to some degree, like an Umbrella Academy vibe to some degree.
Umbrella Academy meets Buffy. I got that vibe very much.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Good show, man. I actually did enjoy it. Like I said, it's not. It takes like 2 or 3 episodes to get going. It does. But once it's going, like, okay, this is interesting. I love that. I love.
I had it on the background, and then the next thing you know, I'm sitting down and I'm watching it, and I was like, wow,
this is a good idea. Yeah. Banshee's great. She's great. The character.
Effects are fun. They dark sense of humor too, which is great. Like I really enjoyed the way they play around with it. So if you guys are ever like bored this coming up weekend, if you're like, man, I can't wait for Black Panther, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. Good show. Good show. A good genre show for geeks. It's really good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We never talked about it, but
when I
saw
saw the show,
I
looked at this show's gonna be fucking awful. I really thought this was gonna be terrible.
That's what I thought so too.
I was like, I'll watch it, obviously, and I was like, okay, and all right, I'm in here. It's well done. I'm surprised because
the characters.
The trailer. Don't judge about a trailer. The trailer's not a good trailer.
No.
It looks cheesy. I was like, this is gonna be.
There's almost like a kitschy charm to the characters where they feel at first like they're gonna be. These are horrible. How am I supposed to care about these characters and the actors who are playing them this way? And then after like 2 or 3 episodes, you're like, these are great. I love everything about it.
It comes together very well.
Once you get on that vibe, it's really good.
Like the night between the 3 is really good. Yeah, Banshee and Succubus, not Succubus. The Banshee and the great together.
The OG scientist with the lisp, love him. Like I just saw like this guy's dope.
I was like, but then he kind of I warmed up to him. He's a comedian, right?
I warmed up, and I was like,
he's a comedian, isn't he? I thought I saw he had
I don't know.
I could have sworn no, I did on Netflix. There's a comedy special with him.
Was he the British comic? His comedy special?
I don't know. I just saw.
Or New Zealand.
He's obviously he's not from the US, but yeah, I saw like I just also going through something because I was watching the Joy Coy one, and was scrolling through it. It popped up. Oh yeah, my brother was here. I was like, hey, that's the guy from Imperfect. Like, yeah, and he's a comedian.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I didn't know it was a comic. I'll check out the set.
The name, but it's there. We can probably look it up on get the cast list. So I assume it's obviously he's doing stand-up comedy. I don't know.
So,
but yeah,
check that out as well.
Good call.
But guys, that has been the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We always appreciate you guys about the show. Don't forget to, as I said, follow us on social media at Instagram at NerdsplainingPod, at Twitter at Nerdsplaining_. If you want to check out all the original audio episodes, check them out at ericdasilva.com, ERICDASILVA. All the original audio episodes there. If you want to support the channel, please hit like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. The more people hit like and subscribe, the more we can do for this and other shows as well. If you like the show, please check it out on YouTube at the Latin Nerd Network. We have this show. We have the watch list for Jose and Chewy talk about all the TV shows that come out for that week. We also have Dennis's Choice. And we have, I keep saying these other projects, one of the projects that I keep telling you guys is coming out. I just put out an announcement for it. It's a small 6-second video. More stuff to come. Keep it out for October 15. Jose will you be back by October 15, Jose?
I'm back on the 17th. Yes, 17th.
So not right away, but as soon as Jose's back, we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah, we'll definitely hear all about it. Point to bring it up on the next show whenever, sometime that weekend or whatever.
Yeah. Keep an eye on, follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. You'll get updates for it coming up, and after that we can even do more stuff that we can talk about. But we're all working for you guys. We like it to see you guys and giving you all the inside scoops and everything. Guys, as always, this has been the show. I am Eric Da Silva. That is Jose Romero. We have been Nerdsplaining, and if you don't know, now you know. Boom.